here for you. Fox 4 News starts now.
Hello, I'm Ticia Muzinga with a look at what's making news in North Texas. Fort Worth police are looking for the person who shot and killed a man in the city's popular entertainment district. Officers responded to a shooting Saturday night on Cockridge Street. They say two people were fighting. One of them pulled a gun and fired, killing 29-year-old Bryson Rogers. The shooter was gone by the time police got there. People living in the area say this is the latest violent incident to happen there.
Fortunately, I'm thinking of going somewhere else rather than here because you don't feel as safe as it used to be.
If Rogers knew the person who shot him, but they say the homicide unit is following up on several leads. They're asking anyone with video or information about the shooting to contact police. You can also share a tip anonymously through Crime Stoppers of Tarrant County. Well, a man was critically injured in a shooting outside a bar in the Dallas Medical District. First responders found the victim just before 2 a.m. near Maple and Hawthorne Avenues. Police detained one person for questioning, but have not said if they believe that person was the shooter. Investigators were looking for a surveillance video in the area that could show them what happened. A UT Dallas student who was missing for several days has been found dead. Richardson police say 20-year-old Andrew Zhao Li was reported missing on February 24th. He was last seen at his apartment on campus. Lee's body was found off campus, and police don't believe his death was suspicious, but are still investigating the cause. They say there is no threat to the UTD campus. And the university released a statement saying, "Our thoughts and concerns are with all of Andrew's family and friends, as well as our university community." University officials say the counseling center on campus is available for appointments, and students have 24/7 access to online resources. Early voting for this year's Texas primary election was well below what we saw in the last presidential election year. About 10% of registered voters in Texas cast a ballot between February 20th and last Friday. Now, that's about 1.8 million people, a drop of more than 200,000 from early voting in the 2020 primary. The presidential races in both parties are virtually over this year, but there is some drama over the future of the Republican Party. Governor Abbott is campaigning heavily against candidates who opposed his school voucher plan last year.
Well, there were 21 Republican House members who voted against his school choice legislation. 16 of them are running for re-election, and he's going after 10 of them. And the goal is, I think, twofold. First, oust those individuals so that in 2025 he can pass school choice legislation, as well as send a message to Republican legislators across the board that if you mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Well, the primaries have pitted Governor Abbott against State Attorney General Ken Paxton in many cases. Abbott is campaigning for House members who supported his school voucher plan. Paxton is backing many challengers, hoping to purge House members who voted to impeach him last year. Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley is making a final plea to Texas voters ahead of Super Tuesday. The former UN ambassador will be in Fort Worth tonight at Tannehill's Tavern and Music Hall. Polls still show Haley is trailing behind former President Donald Trump in Texas. Now, the rally will be her second trip to North Texas in less than a month. She spoke at Gilley's in Dallas in February, and the rally starts at 6:30. Well, a judge blocked Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton from collecting information on transgender children who receive gender-affirming care. Last month, Paxton demanded PFLAG National, an LGBTQ+ advocacy group, to hand over documents about children who received the treatments. A district judge in Austin called Paxton's search a gross invasion of privacy and a violation of the group's freedom of speech rights. Paxton accused the group of trying to get around the state's ban on gender-affirming care for minors. A hearing in this case is set for March 25th. A North Texas high school is doing its part to help people affected by the wildfires in the Panhandle. The volleyball team at Fossil Ridge High started collecting relief items over the weekend. Hannah Batah has more.
The Fossil Ridge volleyball team is collecting donations for the wildfire victims and the firefighters, but the effort started over the weekend. They're looking for donations of things like non-perishable food items, hygiene supplies, baby items, and Gatorade for the wildfire victims and firefighters. The head volleyball coach says this whole idea started when a parent who has family in the Panhandle reached out and asked if there was anything the team could do to help. Well, the head coach then reached out to the school administration to get approval, and it really went from there. It's now becoming an effort that the entire school has gotten behind. The volleyball coach says classes at their school are actually doing a competition to see who can collect the most donations. Even different DFW sports teams have reached out to help. The team's coach says that so far the response has been huge, with so many people reaching out to see how they could pitch in.
But when it comes to something like this, I think it's really cool to see us all pull together. I've had coaches reach out and say, hey, the South Lake boys soccer team is going to donate 40 backpacks, and this volleyball team is going to advertise for you guys this weekend and whatnot. And so it's really cool to kind of let your guard down and just love on some people.
The volleyball team at Fossil Ridge will be collecting donations until 4 p.m. today, then again from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow and Wednesday. They say if you would like to drop off donations, you have to do it in person. Just come to the school and go to the front office and they'll direct you in the right spot. And then on Thursday, they'll be stuffing 2 bus loads heading to Amarillo to drop off those donations in person. In Fort Worth, I'm Hannah Batam.
Coming up on Fox 4 News, a town is preparing a party for an out-of-this-world event. Well, ahead of next month's total solar eclipse, many cities, like the city of Terrell, is getting ready to host a pre-solar eclipse party. The event in Kaufman County will be Sunday, April 7th, the day before the eclipse. Families are invited to enjoy live music, shopping, food, and even dueling piano performances in downtown Terrell. Now, the city says it's excited for locals and visitors to come together for the special cosmic event.
The more the merrier. We welcome everybody from local people to people from all over the world.
Terrell is one of the cities in the path of totality and will be one of the best places in the country to watch the April 8th eclipse. The city has other eclipse events planned in the coming weeks, and we have more information on that on our website at fox4news.com.
It's a nice day to be out on the lake. The lakes are still cold. They take a while to warm up, usually until April and May when they start to warm up. Look at those temperatures this morning, just very, very warm thanks to south winds overnight and dew points in the 60s. Of course, we came off an 80-degree day yesterday. Dew points are well into the 60s right now, and our dry line is out to the west. Do we have to worry about it? Not really. We have a pretty good cap of warm air that's over us now. There is some moisture that's streaming out of the Gulf. You can see it down here by Houston, little bitty showers coming up I-45. So if you live in our far eastern areas, Palestine, Canton, Van, Tyler, you might see a shower this morning. And you also have the best chance to see a shower storm this afternoon. The rest of us, I think we just warm up into the 80s. I've got us 82, 83. Pretty much everybody in Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, even Oklahoma's on the warm side. Now, it does cool off in the Panhandle because of a cold front coming that way, and the winter chill is up there. It stays to the north, but look at all that up north. We've got some pretty cold air, even a little snow flying around the Twin Cities. Less snow where they had the blizzard conditions in the Sierras, but it's still snowing a little bit. The southern part of the jet stream is about to get active. Basically, what's happened here, we've got the moisture split between north and south, and when this gets active, we're going to start to talk about storms. Now, you'll see this plastered all over the place today. The Storm Prediction Center has us in a marginal risk. I'm just so uninterested in this. I mean, there's a very, very low risk we get a marginal storm with hail or gusty winds. For eastern counties, and we're talking maybe one storm produces some nickel-sized hail or something. I'm not too worried today. Tomorrow, eastern, northeastern counties, you live eastern, northeast of Dallas, there is a 20% chance for a storm in the afternoon hours. And then we start to get more active late Wednesday into Thursday. Wednesday night, it starts to bubble up, and on Thursday, we could be talking about some strong to severe storms, hail, and even a low tornado risk may end up in the mix. So for today, we'll be talking about an isolated shower out east, but once the clouds break for sun, we're easily in the 80s today. Another warm springtime day. Tonight, tomorrow, still on the warm side, about 60 tonight. The air is a little bit drier tomorrow as a weak cold front starts to nose in the afternoon. And once we hit the 80s, that cold front may bubble up a few showers and thunderstorms late in the day for areas east of the Metroplex. Otherwise, we'll get some cooler, drier air in here, maybe drop into the 50s briefly on Wednesday. So even though you see rain and storm chances every day this week, don't worry about the next 3 days. Today, tomorrow, even Wednesday, chances remain low, mostly for eastern areas. And then as we get into Wednesday night, we're talking about showers and storms starting to ramp up. By Thursday, could be some active weather across the area. One of those days, you stay tuned. Thursday night. Friday, the rain gets out of here in the morning, and by the time we hit the weekend, fair amount of clouds on Saturday and gusty winds. It'll feel chilly for a while as temperatures drop into the 40s in the morning. And of course, we spring forward. Oh, you know what that means, Chip? We lose that hour.
And that's a look at what's making news in North Texas. Of course, for news anytime, just go to fox4news.com.